Hi everyone, it's Eleanor at Eleanor's Place. I'm down on plot 2. I'm listening to the birds singing and it's just peaceful down here. And look at those sunflowers. I'm going to take some home with me today and enjoy a few in my little caravan at home. I'll just pick a couple so that we can enjoy them. I don't know whether you can get any sunflowers out of these. I'm not sure. When I was little, I have an auntie who lives in Spain, and they eat over there something called peepers. And peepers are actually sunflower seeds that are roasted, probably with a bit of oil on them, and then covered in a bit of salt. And they peel off the shell and eat the little seed out the middle, the little kernel. And I'm just wondering whether these would provide me with those sort of little sunflower seeds, and I could just do a few and have them for myself as a little snack. I'm not sure. I don't know whether it's the bigger ones, the very big ones, that you have to use for that. I would think they're all very much of a muchness. You know, they must be in there somewhere, mustn't they? Just looking at them, wondering. So there you go. So these are looking, they've survived really well. We had an early morning frost at the beginning of the week. Actually, when was it? I think it might have been Thursday or Friday. We're on Sunday now. And they've survived very well, considering it did go down to about -3 up here. But unfortunately my squash bed, that did get hit for obvious reasons. So all I'm going to be able to do now, I think, is harvest all these squashes that I've got and let them, store them. I mean, luckily these mashed potato squashes, these white ones, these actually store very well. So I think I'm just going to have to take these off, because I don't think these plants are going to sustain them anymore. I think that's all, folks, as they say. But the pumpkins are the same. That's a nice one just over there. It's looking nice. And that one over there's tucked away in the foliage, but that one's nice. There's quite a few here. I cut one off by mistake last week when I was doing my edges. So I took it home, and I think they're a bit like tomatoes. It seems to be carrying on ripening. So there is some, saving grace, because these plants, as you can see, are finished. So I'm going to have to take those out, harvest the pumpkins, and probably store them in my shed up here and just take them home as and when. I'm going to make some spicy pumpkin soup, I think, in the next couple of days. So that'll use one of them up. They're not massive, about 8 inches across max. So, and this is the thing that I'm really a little bit disappointed with. I'm going to hang on and hope, because I just started to get a butternut squash, and the flipping frost has got the plant. And as you can see, it's decimated it really. But I'm going to hang on and see if it'll get a bit bigger and ripen. It might not. The courgette plant took a bit of a whammy, but it does look like it might have survived a little bit. It's still got some of its leaves, and it's still producing courgettes. I've got 3 there. So these things happen, it's just one of those things at this time of year. You keep your fingers crossed that it's going to hold out a bit longer. But it was just a bit of a freak frost. Right, so let me show you. I've been cutting the lawns down here, bringing a lawnmower down with a battery on it, and cutting all these. And the grass just looks so much better when you cut it with a lawnmower. Made sure I'd shifted all the stones before I did it. This section here now, these 3 beds here, 1, 2 and 3, they're all fruit bushes, and as I keep promising, but I do have to do it. I'm going to have to put a fruit cage over it. So it's going to start here on this edge, and it's going to have to extend all the way over, right through here, right over, just past these currant bushes. That's the white currant there, and that's a red currant, and it's going to have to come to here. So it's quite a substantial size, but at least I've got the pathways sorted out in between them now, and it will be a neater job. So that's my job for the autumn, is to get that fruit cage on and sort it out. Still haven't used these two planters, but I will use them. And this patch here that's still fallow, the intention of that is to put my greenhouse there, because I haven't got a greenhouse. I've got a shed, but I haven't got a greenhouse, so we need one. So I'm hoping to get something sorted out around here somewhere for next year. So I don't really want to start making these planters permanent at this point, because they might be in the way. So I'm just going to hang on to them as they are. They'll be fine. I came down a few weeks ago and I noticed, look at that, isn't that lovely? I've just gone off on a tangent, but isn't that rhubarb looking lovely? Brand new plant. I reckon the way that's growing, I might even be able to take a couple of stalks off that next year. I'm really pleased with that. That's actually off my mum's plant. It was just a tiny little thing when I got it, and look at it now, it's lovely. So I'm really pleased with that. Yes, but what I was starting to tell you was my fruit trees are starting to grow. Now I put these in late autumn last year, late fall, and they've put on a good foot, 12 inches of growth, maybe more, 15 inches of growth. And I noticed this about a week ago. If I step back, you can sort of see there's a main solid section here. That was the tree originally, and it's put on this growth above it. So this is good. And if I look here, look at that. I've actually got a few little flowers come there. They're a bit late and a bit wonky, but I'm pleased with that, because that's a conference, by the way. So that's going to hopefully start to establish itself quite nicely there, and it'll be nice. And the same here on this plum tree. I think it was to about there, and it's suddenly shot up all this extra growth, which means that it's obviously made its roots down there, and it's happy and it's settled down and it's setting off. So I'm really pleased. The apple tree, this is a Bramley apple, so this is for baking. And again, this has put up these great, really nice, strong growths on the top. So I'm just so pleased that they've settled down as nicely as they have. Really, really pleased with those. And hopefully in the next couple of years I'll get some nice fruit coming off them. Oh, talking of fruit, let me show you the fig. Now, I don't expect anything from this fig. I'm up near the Scottish border here. You're not going to get figs up here. But I was straightening it up today, and there, in the middle of it, can you see that? That is a little fig. Get this leaf out of the way. There he is. A little fig. And then I looked and I thought, oh, there's another one. So I think it must have been that really hot weather we had in the summer. I didn't even notice any flowers on it. Not at all. Obviously something's gone on, and it's set some tiny little fruits. So they need shelter. I'm not quite sure where the prevailing wind comes from. I think it actually comes from over there. So if that's the case, these hazel bushes that I've put in for hazelnuts, they're probably well positioned, because they'll grow up behind it and afford it a bit of protection. So that's good. So I just have to decide now how to underplant on this section here, what what to put in there. I might put an artichoke in here or two, because I do have a couple of new artichoke plants that somebody gave me. So I might put those in there. But I was absolutely amazed when I saw the little figs on that, because I just didn't think, I thought it was just going to be a tree and nothing else, you know. Don't get your hopes up. Now when I put the hazels in over here, remember these were all bare when I put them in, they were just twigs, so don't think I'm thick, because I put them in and they all look lovely. And then hey presto, in the middle of it I thought, that isn't a hazel, that's a flipping birch. And my friend who's got a plot higher up, she said, oh, just leave it there, it'll be fine. But it's way bigger than the others, and I'm worried it's going to just crowd them out. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should just trim it a little bit and encourage it to bush a bit more, rather than just go up, because it would form a tree if I let it, and I don't want that. It's meant to be a hedge. This here, all the way along there, and that section over there is meant to form a natural hedge between this part of the allotment over here where there's veg growing, and this part over here, which is mainly an orchard and fruit growing area. So it was just meant to be a natural barrier between the two. I added the arch later. I wasn't going to put that arch in, but now I have. I actually rather like it. But yeah, this was actually, these hazel bushes were actually meant to be the start of the orchard. So that bed over there that no longer has the potatoes in it, I had the Shetland Blacks in there, which I'm still working my way through at home. That is fallow now, and I'm not sure which way to go with that one yet, whether to plant it with another fruit tree. I was originally going to put in a green gauge, so I'm not sure. I might get one, I don't know. But let me show you this buddleia, because this buddleia here was just a small one that came off one that my mum has. And when I was weeding underneath it one day, I noticed this tiny little plant that was no bigger than just a shoot off the end. It was no more than that much in the ground, and I took it out, put it in a pot, it sulked for a while, and then up it came and it formed a lovely plant. And this now is about 4 foot high. It's gorgeous, and it's had loads of flowers on it. I will have to trim it back a little bit. I don't want it coming out too far, but with buddleia anyway, you must cut them back every year, otherwise they go tremendously woody. So in early spring, early-ish spring, you cut them right back, more or less to the base, to the last 5 or 6 inches, and it will put up nice fresh growth from there. If you don't, you'll end up with a big woody base on the thing, and the greenery is only on the top, and it looks really ugly. So, mind you, I must tell you, if you have got one that's gone really woody, don't worry about it, just chop it back. They're very resilient plants. It'll take it, and they'll come back from the base, and you'll have a nice looking bush again. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. It's looking nice, because when I put it in, I actually broke its growing point off. It was about 12 inches high, and I broke about the top 6 inches off, and I wasn't terribly impressed with myself. But what it actually encouraged it to do was to put out all these side branches, and actually I think it's done it good. And the main growing point is this smaller one in the middle here, but it will steady off. It grew a new centre point, but all these side ones had already come out from it. So if I step back and just show you that now, it is a nice bush. It's going to be really nice. So what have I been doing? I have lifted a few more potatoes on my other plot, and I've cleared out the sweet corn that I had in here because they'd finished. Now I've cleared it out, and I've forked it over and taken all the weeds out of it that were there. There weren't a lot, but I took the weeds out that were there. And now what I need to do is I need to get some compost or some manure. I have got some somewhere, and I will spread that over it and let it just mulch in and just let it enrich the soil. I'm going to put a bag of manure on each of these beds and try and bulk them up so that they start to raise up within their spaces, come more to the top of those little wooden areas I've got, and just to enrich the soil. The soil here is quite sandy, and it needs a bit of help. So yeah, that's the plan. And the other thing I've got to do is I've got to do something about these strawberries. Now, I love strawberries, but I've got to be honest, when they do this and they form loads and loads of runners and they're all over the paths and they start going everywhere, they drive me bonkers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off all those outside runners and just form them in here and then dig them out. Because if I look down here, yeah, you see they formed all these new little plants that have rooted into the ground. So I can take some of those out and establish a new strawberry bed somewhere else. And then in a couple of years' time, this will be a spent bed. I'll take it out altogether and throw those plants away and move on to fresh plants. And that's how you do it, folks. Your strawberry plants don't last longer than about 3 or 4 years, and then they start to go back. So I need to weed this. There's a few weeds growing in amongst it. And look at this, I've even had to pull these with these lovely healthy roots on them. I had to pull them out of the pathway. They were growing in the path. So if I do this now, look, there's one here, look. I'll pull that out, look. Lovely little plant there. So I need to get these into some little pots. But my guess is there's enough in there anyway. So I don't know. I might just sacrifice those and just stick with what's in the bed. Yes, that's what I'll probably do. And there you go. So, and the other thing you do, well, let's see if my carrots, which if you look here now, then they've not done bad at all. They're really rather nice carrots. And if we look down here, you know when they're ready, because if you look there, you can actually see. Can you see that? There's actually a little carrot top here. There he is. So if I pull that, let's see if I can. Here he comes. There you go. Look at that. These are chantenay, and I've dragged a few up with it, which are a lot smaller. But look at those. I think we'll have those. Oh, come on. That's it. There's another little one dragged up with it. My trouble is, you see, I'm too kind and I don't thin them out. I feel so sorry for them when they're all trying so hard to grow, and then I go thinning them out. Let's have that one. See, there's another really nice one. Look at that. Lovely. Have these for dinner tonight. I'll find a few more. Let's find a few more. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a nice one there. Get that one. See? Lovely. Look at that. Oh, lovely. Pulled another tiddler up, but never mind. Let's have a look. Another one somewhere. There's tons of them actually. They're nearly all ready here. I'm being fussy, but I could take quite a lot of these out quite happily. Let's take that one. Oh, look, lovely. I think I've nearly got enough. I'll have one more. That one there. Here we go. I think. Yeah, we'll have this one here. There we go. That's another nice one. So there we go. There's dinner. There's dinner. We're going to have those tonight. Nice little crop of carrots. So all that fuss and palaver, not being able to grow carrots, and eventually I got there. And aren't they beautiful? And I think I've got a crop there, still in the ground, that I'll have that one as well. I'll have that one as well. There we go. That was it. There's dinner tonight. And you see, this is what it's all about. I just love it. I mean, there's just nothing like it for job satisfaction, is when you sit there at the dinner table and the only thing on your plate that you've not bought, the only thing on your plate that you've not grown is the meat. And I think it's fantastic. It's the way it should be. You know, there's too much reliance, I think, on supermarkets and other people growing everything for you. And if anything goes wrong, like it has done recently, you're just not prepared for it, are you? You're not prepared for it. Let me turn you around so I can see you. Hello, hello. But you know, it's seriously it. This is it. We've become so reliant on the supermarkets and other people producing our food and bringing it in from abroad, that when something goes wrong elsewhere, like wars and famines and natural disasters that wipe out crops, we're in trouble. And we do really need to, I think, reposition ourselves and produce more of our own food. It's just vital. We become more independent in that respect. And you get so much well-being from being out with nature in the fresh air, producing it yourself. Okay, you have some ups, you have some downs, you have some trophies, you know, victories, and you have some disasters. But that's all part and parcel of life anyway, isn't it? Not everything goes to plan all the time. So I think it's fantastic to get out here and do this. And I think more people should be doing this, because I think all this mental health issues, I think a lot of them would be erased if people got out there and got stuck in and got their hands dirty. It really puts more sense of proportion on things and gives you a different perspective on life. So there's my thing. So anyway, I'm going to go for now, and happy gardening, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye. But look at them, aren't they just gorgeous? Bye.